Following my video about the 4 profit levers of property investing, this time I'll show you how to make 27 million from one SA property. Okay, assuming we're buying a 3-bedroom house now with a market value of 150,000 pounds, but we were able to negotiate it and buying it at 135,000 pounds. So we have a discount of 10%. So it's 15,000 pounds as an instant equity right on day one of our property investment. So like what Robert Kiyosaki says, you make money when you buy. So this is the reward in getting this property on day one. We already had built-in equity of 15,000 pounds. So assuming we keep this property for the next 40 years and apply these 4 profit levers of property investing. Number one is discount. As we know, we already negotiated it at 10% discount, buying a market value of 150 to 135. So we have discount 15,000 pounds. And a cash flow, assuming we bought the right property in the right location and taking all the rules, especially 7Cs in buying a service accommodation property. So we have a strong confidence that we can achieve at least 12,000 pounds every single year for this single property. So in 12,000, if 12,000 every single year and keep this for the next 40 years, so we have a total cash flow of 480,000 pounds. So it's 480,000 pounds in cash flow for the next 40 years. How about the equity growth? Equity growth is number 3 profit levers. So as what we know from the previous video, that there has been historical data in the United Kingdom that the annual house growth is 7.9% for the last 90 years. So this is historical data that we can actually check it through the land registry or the house price index from nationwide website. So assuming property will double every 10 years. So this 150,000 property now will be 300,000 in the next 10 years. And if it double again, it becomes 600,000, and double it again, it's 1.2 million pounds. And it double again on year 40, it's now 2.4 million pounds for just one single property. So that's the power of equity growth and compounding effect. So now we'll have to check for just that 3 profit lever alone, how much we could be able to make it in just 40 years. So we know the discount is 15,000, the cash flow is 480,000, and the equity growth is 2.4 million pounds, less the purchase price, which is 135,000. So now our profit is 2.760 million. So 2,760,000 pounds. So assuming, wow, that is too much. And that is, I can accept it through my assumption if in case I made mistake on my assumption. So I made mistakes in buying this right property. So just assuming half of the profit, just to be more cautious and more conservative. So instead of 2.7 million, we'll just make it 1,380,000 for just one property for the next 40 years. So imagine, that's why we keep on buying properties. So this is now the last property profit levers, which is called the refinance. You can only refinance if cash flow and equity growth is on the table, because you can refinance it if there's no growth on your investment or there's no enough cash flow to service your new mortgage or new loan. So assuming in year 1 you have one property, now through the power of refinancing, you can be able to triple your property every 10 years by not using any of your money. You just have to sweat the asset that you have, pull money out, and then buy another one. And in just 10 years, you can actually triple your number of properties. So assuming year 1, you have one property, in year 10, you have 3 properties, and year 20, 9 properties, year 30, 27 properties. And in year 40, it's 81 properties. 81 properties. So if we have 81 properties in year 40, wow, Jamie, that is too much. I cannot believe I can do that. I don't have the confidence, I don't have the knowledge, I don't have the expertise to transform or make the refinancing process to build my portfolio. So assuming you just have to be cautious, just half it. Half of 80 is 40. Or if you didn't even convince yourself that you can make it, just half it again. So it's just with 20 properties in 40 years, it started from just one property. So assuming you only had 20 properties and 1.3 million pounds for each of this property will be 27 million pounds. So imagine you can turn your one property into 20 properties for the next 40 years for just 27 million pounds. What if you have 10 baby of this? Instead of just one, you started at 10. So meaning to say you have 270 million pounds. What if more than 10? Because I know some of my friends and my network, they even have 50 properties, 100 properties, and my mentor even have more than 200 properties in his portfolio. So that's it for now. Look out for my next video. As my next video, I will be discussing the house price data on how this property index data will have this historical effect throughout the region in the country. So again, look out for my next video. Bye for now.